If you find the information useful, please click the like button so others can find our content. For more information, please visit us at thejerusalemasssembly.org. If you have questions, contact us on our Facebook page. The links are provided in the description below. April 22, 2020. The month of June 2020 Divine Extravaganza. By Ruben D. Garcia. Oh, my beloved and dearest friends and faithful readers, the month of June is going to be a month like no other month in all of human history. There comes a time in every human being's life when a uniqueness from a dream, an idea, even from a message from the heavens becomes as real as the sun rising. An artist paints a masterpiece, a poet, a musician, an author, creates a one-of-a-kind epic piece to entertain humanity with a vast span of emotional splendor. Thus, is what I am about to share with you in this article. I have been writing, for over 10 years, about this in the hope that many people will at least care to accept a possible idea to be real. It was not meant to be. Humanity is not well known for adhering to ideas or concepts that are beyond their knowledge and beliefs. All of this is about to change as June 2020 makes its presence known to the world. It will not matter what institution of religious gathering you belong to or what beliefs you adhere to, the date, the time, the moment has been in the works for over thousands of years in the highest realm of the heavens. In my novel, God's Chose Ones, I described this divine moment as the returning of Michael, the archangel, who was sent and instructed by God to prepare the chosen ones for the end of time. In my novel I described the chosen ones to be parents, children, husbands, wives, widows, widowers, war veterans, and artists, just as you will find in today's societies. These people were suffering from terrible diseases and deprivation. In his return, Michael, the archangel, as an agent for God, returns to meet God's chosen ones he had met a decade before. Their lives completely changed by the words and plan Michael brought from God to them on his first visit. In his return, Michael informs them that the divine has set the divine plan in motion. He gives them 3 spiritual riddles, each denoting a period of time in which events, episodes would come to pass. Michael was addressing the year 2012, 2020, and 2040. He informed them that God had chosen them for a monumental task as human society spirals down into crime, drunkenness, and chaos. If continuing on such path, it will bring its end. Michael shared with them that to avert all of this was within mankind's hands. Michael also added that all efforts should be made by them to convince humanity to make changes to a better, more compassionate human beings to avert that was for the time being a potentiality. It was imperative for them to convince all human beings to give up their negativity toward others using their spiritual virtues and divinity they now possess. If humanity would change its evil ways, God would hold back his wishes because he loves all of humanity. Michael, prior to his departure, bestowed upon them the divine light as once was done to Jesus' disciples prior to his ascension. We know these chosen ones today as the light workers, and I have often referred to their spiritual missions along with the missions of star seeds in my articles. Yes, my dear friends, you, your neighbor, even a child can be one of them. We have known them by their goodness and kindness of their hearts. Since December 25, 2012, they are known as the awakened ones, and I have made a point for you, my readers, to be cognizant of the value of these individuals and the urgent need for many others to experience the awakening, because it is everything that we have been waiting for since Michael's return, according to the message in 1991. Also, in the year 1997, I was informed that from that period until late 2012, a spiritual transcendence would be taking effect in which human emotions would go beyond the current third dimension understanding, and a good example of this has been the effect of COVID-19 throughout the world. It is why I have expanded regarding its effects on all of humanity in previous articles. Therefore, what is this grandiose divine extravaganza I am conveying in this article? But before I do, let me ask you a simple question. What does the word unconditional mean to you? I am certain that you know and understand the word conditional. We have learned this word very well since childhood. Well, for this article, I wish for you to remember the definition of unconditional but also the meaning when the Great I Am makes it known to you on the month of June of this year. Unconditional refers to an aspect without conditions or limitations. That is that all it contains is an absolute, saying it simply, a complete perfection, not only its quality but also its nature. And that is but a small part of the Great I Am and of the great love God has for all of humanity. We are His children, and consequently what is about to take place in June 2020 are His divine gifts for every single human being. What makes these great gifts so valuable for humanity? Believe it not, having the Great I Am deed that humanity be gracious to receive these divine gifts of ascension from our mundane third dimension level to a higher dimension is without question the ultimate. Our future would have been less than desirable if continued on an old earth in which negativity reigned supreme. At this time, it may not seem possible, or at least believed, that greater powers are involved seeking for humanity to ascend to a higher consciousness, but they sure are. They are all in complete unison to bring about the desires of the Great I Am upon humanity, and the entire universe is having their eyes on our ascended nature. By the year 2030 you will be a believer of the greatness and awesomeness the Great I Am is. The beginning of the Great Awakening for humanity is quickly approaching and comes with a magnificent consciousness in which humanity will be made known not only God's greatness but also the awesomeness of the light we have known as our sun, and the intricate play not only giving us life but also divine flash toward ascension. It will be made known to all of humanity that they are other beings on faraway planets, the knowledge that celestial beings, angels, that served the Great I Am universes are in complete accordance of His unconditional love to all creatures, including humanity. Oh, yes, this and much more. Now, for the best, unconditional love, is it found in today's human nature? The answer is an equivocal, yes. And whether you realize it or not, it has been so close to you that you never considered it to be of such degree, but you have manifested it more times than you can imagine. No, it is not the love that you maintained for God. If you did, you would be a celestial being and not a human being. Therefore, where is found? It is found in the most humble and honest human being you have ever seen or revered, a mother. Surprised? I am glad. Our mothers are the only ones on this earth that conceptualize the virtue of unconditional love as it is within God's heart for all of humanity. A mother would quickly give her life for the safety and existence of her child. She would do whatever is necessary for the best of her child. There is no greater love in the entire universe than that of a loving and caring mother. Even, in the animal world, this is manifested on a daily basis. Such is the nature of the coming gifts from God to humanity, the divine gift of unconditional love for all of humanity, and you will be the ones to see its genesis beginning in June 2020 by the means of the Great Flash. It is also known as the appearance of the Great Light, but in whatever symbolism given by the ancients masters, it is the divine virtue in which the seed of new divinity will be placed in the fertile ground of humanity's consciousness that will bring about an awareness of unprecedented levels on all things living upon this earth. More on this in my next 2 articles, Forgiveness, the next step in humanity ascension, and June, the month of illumination. On another note, it has become apparent that complacency and lack of understanding still remains in some of the population of our country. Since the declaration of no longer isolation, people are flocking into casinos, restaurants, movie theaters, parks, etc. I can only share with you this simple divine rule in existence until God says otherwise. There is a universe concept that should be known to every human being, and that is that every effect that affects humanity has built within the concept of duality. That is that two variables exist in every existing event. That is, black and white, truth and lie, day and night, etc. Consider this: the ones that were not affected by COVID-19 were the ones that complained the most for the inability to do what they have always done before the crisis, and now are the ones who are content to rush to all of these premises as if all is well. History has shown that haste makes waste. If you were the Great I Am and you gave these individuals the safety of a home and allowed them not to experience the fears of a death which you had no control, and that God blessed you with His benevolence by sparing you from such painful encounters as so many in America have experienced and succumbed to? Which ones would you say are demonstrating to God their gratitude? As for my view, this compulsive behavior will have consequences, more on this in the article, Forgiveness. Until, remain steadfast and cautious. Wait until the heavens give the all clear. For me it was given as the end of May, which I will also cover with June's article. Until then, peace, love, and compassion to you all. And so it is and forever shall be. Namaste.